Debbie Efthymiades, General Manager, Teaching, Learning and Standards with the Northern Territory Department of Employment, Education and Training, has been a keynote presenter at the Australian Government Summer School for Teachers of Mathematics, which is held at the University of New England in January 2008. Debbie's keynote address was entitled Assessment Informed Pedagogy. Debbie's going to give us an overview of her presentation. Debbie, what was the main focus of your presentation?
Well, Russell, the following John Pegg's keynote on the solo model in its entirety, my keynote was mostly focused on exploring the possibilities of using the solo model to inform teachers' choices about pedagogy. So the actual teaching strategies that they will use with their students, and see where the solo can help us in making those kinds of decisions. And in the Northern Territory, we're attempting, and I can only say attempting at this stage, to use the solo model in all of our curriculum, assessment and pedagogy reform. So it was a great opportunity to work with some exemplary teachers and get their feedback on some of those possibilities.
Great. How is your presentation relevant to contemporary mathematics teaching?
Well, I think that the solo model itself, one of its strengths is its capacity to be applied quite generically across many areas of learning, and even though it has its strongest background in mathematics and science, what we're hoping to achieve from it is use it as a tool, in fact, for teachers to be able to share a common language and use that language, whether it's within the same discipline or whether it's working in another area and talking with other teachers from other faculties or other disciplines, and using that to reflect on what they see in children's learning, or students' learning. So, and right across the board, through from early childhood right through to senior secondary, we're hoping it will be applicable. So, particularly for looking at kids' work though, because that's the real strength of the model, is it grounds the conversation in what kids are actually showing.
That's great, thanks for that. Deb, I was just wondering if you can tell us what the key messages are that you hope to address and that the participants of the summer school take back with them to their schools.
Sure. Well, my goal was actually a little bit selfish. It was to test the ideas and possibilities with an exemplary group of teachers. And having said that, I was hoping to stimulate at least some of them to be interested in taking back and having a bit of a go in their own practice, and consider how they might apply the solo model to one of the key aspects to inform pedagogy, which is assessment design. And pedagogical choices. So, for example, can solo help us to determine when you might use investigative or exploratory kinds of teaching and assessment, and when you might use more explicit teaching, and including when you might provide opportunities for some kids to practice certain aspects. So we're hoping that, intuitively it seems that the model can help inform that. So I guess the proof will be in the pudding though, whether it really does help teachers to make those kinds of decisions or not.
Sure. I guess one of the measures of success for the program will be what the teachers take back from the summer school and then begin to implement in their own school environment. What information and ideas do you hope that they might actually work within the classroom?
Well, I'd suggest that in the spirit of where we are, because we're in the very early stages in the Northern Territory of trying to apply the model this widely, that in the spirit of that, anyone that picked up a particular point, and I think, it's kind of in line with solo in that you might start with one aspect, and because it is a learning journey, to pick an aspect that perhaps resonates with something they're already doing. Because let's be real, these teachers are great teachers here. We're not teaching them how to teach mathematics. We're trying to find some value-add things that can help them to continue, their continuous improvement and continue to be exemplary teachers and continue to enhance that. So if they were to take one aspect that just resonated with them and have a go in their classroom, and we don't always have success the first time we try something, but a great opportunity to perhaps try one of the tasks that's being used here, or if not that, some other task that they've designed themselves already, And in addition to their marking or their usual assessing of that task, have a think about, is there anything that jumps out at them in terms of solo? And if they find something good in that, then I'm hoping that one of the ongoing things from this school is that it's a vibrant professional learning community, and particularly online I'm hoping that people will be able to share some of those experiences and have a healthy debate about it, because I don't think there is a right answer to this. The research is in its very early days, and so teachers as action researchers is one of the most powerful tools, and if they can then contribute that in a professional learning community online, I'm sure that sharing those kinds of things can help us decide fairly expediently how useful this will be for the broader teaching community.
A program like the summer school just gives people an introduction often to a concept or an idea. What other resources can they access when they go back to their schools to help them with this?
Well, there's within the packs that have been provided, there's quite a lot of readings around the solo model itself. They're obviously quite useful, and I think particularly for participants here, with the limited time we spent exploring the model, particularly for senior secondary teachers, there will be something in really having a look at the formal mode, which a lot of their students would certainly be working towards or working in. And so there's a lot of readings there that can enrich the understanding, help enrich the understanding of the model. In terms of the pedagogical implications, there really isn't much directly about that at all. In fact, I'm not sure that there's anything written. And so I think the best opportunity we have is to really foster, even if it's only a small group who have quite an interest, but foster that online professional learning community and see if we can get that dialogue running.
And so the online community is dealt with in the material. They can contact someone and join that? Well,
I'm assuming that the whole online community notion that will emerge from this, that this would be a subset of that,
yep.
And that people can opt in for whatever parts interest them. So, even if we only get one or two people, quite seriously, that's exciting just to have people that are engaging with it in a real way in their classrooms and feeding that in. So I think that would be great.
All right, well thanks very much, Debbie. I'm sure there'll be lots of teachers who'll be keen to have a look at this and trying to increase their understanding and look at implementing it in their schools.
Thanks, Russell.